My review on Batman Begins. So after a very intimidating, scary Batman intro, we got the Bat logo and the Batman Begins theme song. Cuts to 5-year-olds playing Who Guts It. One of them, his name is Bruce Wayne, and he falls down. One of the thing grab the rock arrow and falls in a case bats, and it was grown up Bruce Wayne reliving his nightmare. And Bruce Wayne's getting food, gets in a fight with several guys, and gets thrown in a cell for beating up those several guys. He tells Liam Neeson that there were several of them, and he said there were 6 of them. Several means more than 3. Yeah, and also he talks about becoming more than a man, something that truly awesome. And he tells him to get this flower and go up to the mountains and you'll find the League of Shadows. And he convinces Bruce Wayne by Liam Neeson talking very cool to him. And he finds the flower, gets dropped off by some guys, and goes up to the mountains and sees Ra's al Ghul. I know it's called Ra's al Ghul, but his real name is Ra's, so I'm just calling him Ra's because makes this movie sound less dumb. So he sees Ra's al Ghul, and a bunch of guys lock the door, and Bruce hands him the flower, and he tells them what he seeks, because Liam Neeson, well, let's be honest, he's playing Liam Neeson, and asks him, what does he seek? And he says he seeks justice to strike fear in the hearts of criminals. So basically said he is trying to begin now, and he says he can barely stand, and he says death does not wait for you, as he Liam Neeson attacks him, says, and here you will know death. Here is death, blah blah blah. Okay, and he captures Liam Neeson's foot and gets a few in, and Liam Neeson uses Jiu-Jitsu on him and Panther. And he asks him, what do you fear? It's because it's not me, so cuts to him coming out of the case, getting pulled out of the case by his father, and father's carrying him, and he hands the little rock to Rachel. Little Rachel in this, and he starts having nightmares of bats, and for some reason the father says don't wet the bed as he tickles him. At least I think that's when they go to the opera. Mm, bunch of bats around the plane. What do you know? That reminds him of the bats that he saw. Because his father taught him, especially the scary things, are scared of stuff. So they go walk right out of the opera, and whoopee, his parents are murdered. Parents are murdered. Oh, I feel so devastated and feel so much for this child. And he's in the police station where he meets police. Gwen, police officer Gwen. Uh, and by the end of this movie, Commissioner Gordon gets promoted to a higher job because of Batman, like the Dark Knight. Okay, and the police got Joe Chill, which was the one who killed his parents, and cuts back to Liam Neeson and Bruce Wayne talking, and mm, mm. and talking how Bruce's anger overcomes his guilt for his parents' death, and Liam Neeson's going to teach him how to confront it and teach him how to be invisible, like invisible like ninjas, because invisible knows invisibility and theatrical, and he trains him, so does a sword fight with him, sword trains with him. Liam Neeson looks like Bruce beat Liam Neeson, but Liam Neeson beat him because he's staying on thin ice, and Liam Neeson taps the ice and makes it crack, and somehow he managed to survive that ice water. Somehow Liam Neeson got him out of there, or he swam down. I don't have no idea how it's possible in this grounded reality of Batman. Very believable. And they start talking by a campfire while Bruce warms up and said that he had a wife once. Wasn't always in the mountains part of the league. And that's about it. So Bruce says vengeance has not always worked with me as it did with Liam Neeson's character. He took vengeance upon his wife, and Bruce, we go back for his story, except this is when he's adult, and he's planning to kill Big Chill because he's about to set free after he's put on trial, and Bruce Wayne brings a gun to him, but someone beats him to it. And well, no, it gets better. Rachel lectures him, gives him a hard time how good people will do nothing, and she says he's not one of the good people, and he confesses he was going to kill him, Rachel, if she didn't do it. If Falcone didn't hire someone, he was going to pull the trigger with his gun that he brought. So Rachel slaps him twice in the face, saying his father would be fucking disappointed in him. And yeah, so so he goes into Falcone's to show that everyone's afraid of him, and Falcone pulls out a gun on him and explains that you always fear, but you don't understand. He basically tells him he's the big dog and he runs this town, and Bruce leaves that place and switches jacket with this guy, homeless guy, and leaves Gotham and we see him steal for the first time and commit a crime the first time, and he tells the police his name, and they don't care what his name is, and he says he's not a criminal, and just tell that to the people, tell it to the judge. I can't remember what this stuff, how they said it. This is something that's bullcrap. They basically said that. And that's that's it. And Liam Neeson says that they do this little thing when a bunch of these ninjas, Liam Neeson and Christian Bale, are dressed up in full ninja costume, and they take on each other while the ninjas are still moving around. And Liam Neeson cuts Bruce on the shoulder, So Bruce decides to trick Liam Neeson to cut two ninjas' shoulders and at him, and Liam Neeson falls for it, and he outsmarts Liam Neeson. But to prove his loyalty to the League of Shadows, he must commit murder to this guy that's a criminal. And Bruce says how this is wrong, and this man should be put on trial. And Liam Neeson says that's bullshit. Even though this is like better than anyone, and the system is broken and stuff. And Ra's al Ghul says, lead these, if you don't kill because you can't lead these people. And he asks where he will be leading them. And it is to Gotham, saying that Gotham must die and burn. And so he takes the sword Year's head, and he burns the place down and kills Ra's al Ghul, and gets in a fight with Liam Neeson and saves him while he's unconscious. And that's it. He gets picked up by an airplane. Alfred picks him up in an airplane, and he's been gone from Gotham for 8 years. No big, right? So Alfred says that the paper had him dead because he's been gone for 8 years, and this guy that worked for the company wants all of the company, so wants it to be his company. So he said Bruce Wayne was dead, and that's it. And Bruce says that he needs to inspire Gotham, and says that he needs a symbol that is simple and scary. And it says, I do suppose by doing this, you're also protecting the ones you love. And Bruce says you're referring to Rachel. And Alfred says, I was actually referring to me. So Bruce goes to Wayne Enterprises, and he tells this girl his name is Bruce Wayne. So the guy that told everyone that he was dead comes out of the doors and is actually shocked that he's still alive. So he says he's not going to interfere with anything. What he's doing, he's not going to interfere with anything about going public with the company and stuff. He's just wants he needs a job. He said he wants a job, and decides to take a job at where Lucius Fox works, played by Morgan Freeman. And he comes up with this excuse that he wants this armor and this tech for for a for a for um cave diving, he said. And so he asked, I would prefer if he didn't know that I was using this, and he says, the way I see it, all of this is yours. And so he dresses up and 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 dresses up with the stuff and goes to get some answers out of Gordon and how to take Falcone down, and he gets answers and he runs off by jumping off of a building and Gordon told the other cops he's just a nut. So he told Gordon that now I'm not one man, with two men now. As it says, I'm no longer one man. Now it's us. So he goes back to Lucius Fox and needs something for gliding down mountains. Something that's something like because that's what he says he's going to do. And he says he got something, and then asks it can do any shapes, and it can do any shapes actually. So, and he sees something else. What's that? And Morgan Freeman says the tumbler, and says, "Oh, it says that he says something." He makes it funny, and so we see him taking the tumbler that's going to become the Batmobile as a test drive, and he asks if it comes in black. And also the montage of Alfred and Bruce Wayne building a Batcave. and coming up plans for build the Batcave. And this night, and also Batman, Bruce testing other gadgets that he's not going to use in any of these films, like this weird thing with long fingernails, and he is like moves them like that. It was like this long black thing with fingernails sticking out, like long spongy fingernails, and I have no idea what that is. So yes, this is pointless shit. And so when he makes some minor adjustments to his costume, and he heard word that he's Falcone hired guys to take out Rachel. He heard that from Falcone, and so he suits up and we see the full Batman costume. Finally. And we see him in action through the shadows. We see the fight scenes better than the fight scenes we see most of the fight scenes do better job showing them in the Dark Knight. So, and when he takes out all these guys and he takes out Falcone, he says I'm Batman, and then he saves Rachel by taking out this guy, and scares this other guy, other goon away, and Rachel has a stun gun and zaps him, and it doesn't has no effect because he's Ram, so he just like takes it off and gives her pictures, and he says he's someone like you that rattled the cages of Falcone, and so he gives her leverage, which I guess she calls it the photos leverage. I'm not sure if I know what leverage means anymore. I heard in Pirates of the Caribbean they use it differently, and here they use it differently, so I'm guessing this phone doesn't know what the word leverage means either. They just thought it sounded cool. I'm also guessing they didn't know what the word eradication means. They just thought it sounded cool and poetic, right? That's my guess. Okay, so after that night, he is the man. Then, the Scarecrow sprays Falcone with his fear gas, and like he has everyone in Arkham Asylum, and the Scarecrow and these two guys that are about to burn this house, and that Batman it was investigating, and he took out both of those guys instead of the Scarecrow because he lit him on fire and sprayed him with fear toxin, and he calls Alfred for help, and Alfred's driving in the back of the seat, and he was out for 2 days, and it's his birthday, and he called Lucius for help. So now Lucius knows that he's Batman, and asks him to get more of the antidote ready. Yeah, ask him to get more of the antidote ready, and for for everyone, and yeah, for anyone who needs it. So Scarecrow gives her Rachel a very strong dose of the fairy gas, and Batman takes all the guys out that were working for the Scarecrow and